So, in the spirit of June being Men's Mental Health Month, really, as a man, every month should be Men's Mental Health Month for you. I hate the phrase man up. Like, I hate that phrase, right? Because manning up is not a solution for trauma. And I'm going to be very candid with all of you guys right now. My father and all his uncles used to man up too to deal with their trauma from their father. And now they're all sad, lonely, pathetic, strung out, drug addict alcoholics with nobody in their lives because they drove everybody away because they used to man up and not deal with their problems. Trauma is not something that you can put a timestamp on. I'm talking about real trauma. I'm not talking about like the person at the window at McDonald's put onions on your burger instead of pickles. That's not trauma. Or the barista at a Starbucks put more frap on your latte. Those aren't real problems. I'm talking about real trauma, abuse, assault, manipulation. That's trauma. And there's no timestamp on it. And there's a lot of guys out there with that same philosophy. Man, you need to just man up, man. Quit being a bitch. You need to just man up, man. Man up. And I'm like, hold up, stop. Okay? Now, admittedly, yes, there are times where you need to be strong. There are times where you have to be strong to get over some adversity. You can't be Scooby-Doo all the time. The issue that a lot of men run into is that they equate being strong with ignoring the problem. Well, if I just ignore this, then eventually it'll just go away. And I've said this before in other videos. Trauma never goes away. It just doesn't. And the more you ignore it, the more it's going to pop up in other places in your life. The more you're going to find yourself confronted with this thing in the form of situations or people that you meet that are going to try to force you to interact with that trauma. That are going to try to force you to address it. My father suffered tremendous trauma from his father. And instead of trying to get the help, what did he do? He took it out on his family and the people around him. He took it out on my mother. He took it out on me. He took it out on my sister. He turned that trauma into alcoholism. And he turned that pain into inflicting misery on the others. And now he's alone. I have not spoken to my father in years. I do not know if he is alive still or not. And here's the thing. That may sound cold-blooded because there's people out there that have this flow. Well, he's still your dad. He's still your dad. You got to respect him. And no, you don't. You know, you get these old-timers that believe respect is given and not earned. That's not true. Respect is a two-way street. If you respect me, I'm going to respect you. It doesn't matter who you are. Whether you're my mom, you're my dad, you're my sister, it doesn't matter. You respect me, I respect you. You give me the same consideration that I give you. That's basic human decency. When you have someone that has experienced the just overwhelming amount of trauma like somebody like my father did, you cannot be a therapist for that. I wasn't his therapist, I was his son. And the only way that I could try to help him is if he wanted to help himself and he never did. There's only so much I could do for him until it's like, all right, I am not going to be a punching bag for you anymore. So you either deal with this or you don't, but I'm out. Man up is not a solution for trauma, depression, anxiety, or anything else that is damaging you both mentally and emotionally. Get the therapy. Because if you can't love yourself, you for damn sure can't love nobody else. Don't look for outside factors to complete you. Be complete when you get there. And the only way that you're going to be able to do that is if you address your problems. Don't talk to your friends that are going to give you terrible advice. Seek professional help. And here's the thing, you don't got to settle on the first therapist that you come across, because I've had 3. One was okay, the second one was terrible, and the third one that I'm using right now today, he's great. And always remember this, you're on your time. Do not allow people to force you to get better on their time when they're ready for you to get better. Not your family, not your friends, not your coworkers, nobody. And why not seek help? You already feel bad. So the worst thing, that you're not going to feel worse. If you're already at the bottom, the only place you can go is up from there. But you got to make the decision to do so. There were 2 times in my life where I hit rock bottom. And on the second time of that happening, I figured I'm already at the bottom. I can't go no further down than this. So I got to do something. I got to change this somehow. But I realized that I couldn't do it alone. I tried to do it alone and it didn't work. And I fell into those same traps, those same pitfalls of, well, maybe if I get a girlfriend, that'll make me feel better. Maybe if I do this, maybe if I did that. And all it did was just make me feel worse. Because I didn't allow myself to heal from things. And my confidence and my self-esteem was at an all-time low. And a lot of that came from like societal factors that I allowed to influence how I thought about myself. And lastly, going to therapy does not make you crazy. There was a time where there was a stigma around that, you know, like for my dad and my mother's generation, you went to a shrink, you were crazy. But that is complete and utter bullshit. You are around you all the time. So the least you can do is make being around yourself as pleasant as possible.